Why did silver just surge nearly 4% in a single day while the broader market was looking the exact opposite way? Well, the answer is hidden in a critical data miss. We're currently watching a massive macroeconomic collision unfold across global markets. The setup is historic, and the data is flashing some really complex signals that we need to unpack right now.
So, why exactly are precious metals surging to record highs while the labor market quietly cracks? It's the ultimate paradox. Precious metals are exploding, and at the exact same time, we're seeing deep, concerning cracks spreading through the broader economy.
Just a quick reminder before we dive into the data. The information and comments in this analysis are strictly not investment advice. Please make financial decisions based on your own risk profile. We're just here to look objectively at the numbers.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the macroeconomic trap, inflation's second wave, the labor market cracks, paralyzed central banks, the silver surge, and finally, the K-shaped economy.
Section 1. The Macroeconomic Trap. We are totally caught in the middle right now.
Section 2. Inflation's second wave. Let's look at the hard data. We keep hearing this narrative that inflation is defeated, right? But the hard data from the May 2026 CPI report tells a completely different story. Notice the sharp acceleration in the headline CPI curve here. That line charting the overall consumer price index didn't just stall. It hooked violently upward to 4.25% year over year. That is the highest annual rate we've seen since April 2023.
The crucial point here is understanding why that curve is hooking upward. Headline CPI jumped to 4.25%, and that was primarily driven by a massive 23.54% year-over-year surge in energy prices. Meanwhile, core CPI, which strips out volatile food and energy, sits at 2.85%. Now, while the core rate cooled just a bit, it is still uncomfortably above the central bank's 2% target. Everyday consumers are getting squeezed incredibly hard at the gas pump and on their utility bills.
Section 3. The labor market cracks. Those illusions are fading fast.
We've just seen the reality of rising consumer prices, but what about the other side of this trap? The mainstream narrative insists the job market is incredibly robust. But if you peel back the headline numbers, we actually see a massive loss, negative 57,000. That's the shocking drop in employed people, according to the recent household survey. While establishment surveys might try to paint a rosier picture, the household data shows employment actually shrank by 57,000, down to just over 162 million. This huge divergence between workers and payrolls, that is exactly the kind of signal we historically only see right before a recession hits.
And when you really unpack the labor reality, it gets even worse. We're seeing negative revisions of 74,000 jobs combined for April and May. You know, in a booming economy, job numbers are revised upward. Going into a recession, they're revised downward. Furthermore, a staggering 720,000 workers completely dropped out of the civilian labor force, sending the participation rate plunging down to 61.5%. And key sectors like leisure and hospitality, they actually shed 61,000 jobs in June. People are leaving the workforce because they simply cannot find real opportunities.
Section 4. Central banks paralyzed. Let's talk about the global shift.
The U.S. Federal Reserve is totally trapped right now. With U.S. CPI accelerating to 4.25% and job growth unexpectedly stalling, the aggressive rate hike narrative has basically collapsed. They're holding steady with a target range of 3.50 to 3.75%. They can't hike because the labor market is cracking, but they can't cut because inflation is roaring. Meanwhile, over in Europe, the European Central Bank just hiked by a quarter point to 2.25% to fight off their own re-accelerating inflation, despite having super sluggish growth. Stagflation is officially here on a global scale.
We are definitely covering a lot of heavy macroeconomic ground today. If you're finding this data analysis valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the explainer, and share it. Now, let's move to the critical action plan.
Section 5. The Silver Surge. This is the ultimate escape hatch.
With central banks paralyzed and stagflation setting in, institutional capital is scrambling for an escape hatch. And silver is the absolute star of the show right now for one specific reason. It has a massive structural floor. And this brilliantly illustrates why, unlike gold, roughly 60% of annual silver consumption is driven purely by industrial applications. We're talking AI hardware deployment, electric vehicles, and green technology infrastructure. Only about 40% is for investment in jewelry.
All of this is creating a true supercycle. The global silver market has literally been in a structural deficit for 5 consecutive years. Demand is completely outstripping supply. Add in severe byproduct-dependent supply constraints, plus institutional capital flooding into physically backed ETFs as a final hedge against stagflation, and you get explosive price action. Silver recently surged over 12% off its lows to reclaim the $61 per ounce level, and honestly, the momentum is absolutely undeniable.
Section 6. The K-shaped economy. Let's look at the real human cost here.
While institutional investors protect their wealth in physical metals, we really need to address the severe human cost of this perfect storm. It's creating a classic K-shaped economy where the top and the bottom completely diverge. Dr. Mark Thornton from the Mises Institute hit the nail on the head. He notes that in this environment, the owners of heavily capital-intensive assets benefit enormously from the liquidity central banks pump into the system. But the working class? They don't even notice those benefits. Their wages stagnate, and they just get stuck paying the higher prices at the grocery store and the gas pump.
And nowhere is this wealth divide more obvious than in housing. U.S. 30-year mortgage rates are back up above 6.52%. This is absolutely suffocating the real estate market. Think about it. For the average working citizen facing a cooling labor market and 4.25% inflation, trying to take on debt-fueled real estate with a mortgage above 6.5%, it's becoming completely inaccessible.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question. As systemic inflation silently transfers wealth, how long can this divergence between paper wealth and real-world costs actually last? It is time to structure your daily cash flow defensively. Our model allocates 40% to money market funds, 30% to physical metals, and 30% to global dividend ETFs, while strictly avoiding debt-fueled real estate. Don't let systemic inflation silently transfer your wealth. Ignore the market noise, follow the macro data we've laid out today, and build an impenetrable portfolio structure. Thanks for joining me for this analysis, and I'll catch you next time.